Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Carter Hour via the webcam, and I hope everybody had a good and safe weekend. And I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I know this hasn't been a big part of my channel. I know I didn't start the channel off with vaping and quitting smoking, and I've seen that my subscribers have fluctuated in regards. I'm sure it has something to do with me posting vaping videos, but guess what? This is my channel, okay? And, you know, I appreciate my subscribers that have stuck with me long term. I want to thank you guys, and I appreciate that. For subscribers that are on the fence, I mean, you guys go and subscribe, and then you unsubscribe if you don't see something that you particularly like. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this channel is going to be focused on the vaping entirely, but I have kind of run out of ideas for videos. I want to know what you guys want to see, first of all, but what I wanted to do in this particular video is let you guys know how my progress is going on the quitting smoking type of deal. And, you know, I am doing this on my shitty webcam on my Mac. But the vaping has been a success. We're here in 9 days, okay? 9 days without a cigarette. But I got to tell you something, okay? Remember when I first introduced you, I got stuff falling off my desk because I ran out of USB ports, okay? So I first introduced you guys when I was letting you know that I was quitting and smoking. You know, I told you about the blue cigarettes, then the Views, and then I went to the Caltech, okay? And the Caltech was great for a starter unit. And I've learned a lot of things about vaping just over the last week. There are so many things about vaping that you can learn. I mean, it is just a absolute phenomenon. I mean, it's just, there's so many different options, so many different things, so many different tanks and mods and juices and tips and batteries and all this kinds of good information. Overwhelming at times. So that I had visited a local vape shop. It was a great start. A friend of mine, the one that I was talking about in my previous videos in regards to quitting smoking, 3 packs a day, he quit on the vaping, okay? And he ended up taking me out to another shop. And I could not believe the difference between my local vape shop and another local vape shop. This was another town over. And I just could not believe the product, the juices. I mean, it was like I was missing out entirely. And I couldn't believe, I mean, I'm not ripping on the Kanger Tech K-Box Sub-Box Mini. Perfect starter kit. But if in hindsight, would I have still chose this mod to go and do my vaping on to start off with? And the quick answer to that is absolutely not. I wouldn't have wasted the $80 on this setup kit. Now that I know, now that I have learned quite a bit. I mean, it's cool. You get a rebuildable deck. You get you get a great tank. Kanger Tech makes a good tank, a good sub tank. Their mod's not bad either. Okay, it's not bad either. Here's the problem with this mod. Okay, and you'll hear other people that are more experienced in vaping than I am in regards to this device. This device only does wattage. It does not do, okay, temperature. And temperature and wattage, having those two together is going to give you a smooth vape. It's not going to be harsh, because if I vape on this thing, what happens is that coil heats up. but it can keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter until the fact of the matter is it starts burning the cotton. You could hold this down for 15 seconds and you're burning up your cotton inside that RBA. That's something that you don't want to do. So having a mod that regulates temperature on top of your wattage is a perfect combination. So, I mean, I spent I believe it was $88 and some change out the door for this. It's not a bad mod. Not a bad mod to start on. But if you're more of a type of person that is looking for flavor, you're looking for maybe a stronger vape, I would probably say don't look at the Kangertech, okay? You're going to want to look at something else. So I went to the store and I ended up picking up another vaporizer. This is the Sigelli 75 watt. What do they call it? The Sigelli, well, they call it the Sigelli 75 watt. That's what it is. That's the box that it comes in. It's just the mod itself. It does not come with anything else. Okay? So if you do decide to start and you want better equipment, which I would recommend, because after about a week I was not satisfied on the Kangertech. I was getting ready to quit vaping altogether. The flavors were just not strong. It was almost like I was immune to it. And I was like, this can't be. There's people been vaping for years that there's just no way. So what I did is I went out and bought the Sigelli 75 watt. This is a 75 watt mod, and it does have temperature control. So it really does make a difference. And I'm swearing to you people, you know, my subscribers that are trying to quit smoking, or anybody out there that watches my video, make sure that whatever mod you get is temperature control. This has also got a USB port. Now, these are important for 1 to 2 reasons. First of all, you can charge it. I'm not sure if this has a true bypass in it, because the battery still does go down on this device when you're utilizing it quite a bit, because I've got a pretty bulky coil in there. So I don't think it has enough amperage here, so it's kind of doing a half-C. It's drawing some off here and it's drawing off some on the battery. So even though you have it docked, this is what I call docked, you're still not, you're still hitting the battery a bit, you're taxing the battery for some juice. Now, on top of that, this unit's very nice, very compact. It does come with a skin. It's a rubber skin that you can place over this. What I found on the rubber skin was I'm switching batteries in and out now, so I'm having my Kangertech recharge one of my batteries while I am using this on another. And this was just an inconvenience to slide off and back on, slide off, back on. And this basically keeps it from preventing from scratching the screen and scratching the sides. I decided to omit it. Doesn't bother anything or the use of this device. So this is the Sigelli 75 watt. This is what I suggest you get for first timers out there. It's got your USB charging port. You're gonna need an 18650 battery. I'm running 18650 2500 in there, 3.7 volts. And let me actually take off the cover here and I'll show you that. See, there's the battery. And these are magnetic covers, and they both sides come off. So you need to get that battery out. I found it kind of hard to get the batteries out at first, but then I noticed that both sides come off, so you just push the battery through and you're good to go. So I really like this setup. I'm more than satisfied with it at this point in time. And I'm also thinking about getting an atomizer, so I'm doing some dripping as well as using a sub tank. I had my friend over last night, and he was showing me a lot of different items that he has for vaping, and it was quite enjoyable. It was a fun time. I hadn't seen him in a while, but we do stay incommunicado. And he's, you know, one of my best friends, but we just, with our work schedules and things, it does not work out to get together sometimes. So I excuse me, I'm still getting the hacking coming up from vaping the last 9 days. So with this mod, I could use my Tech, and let me put these side by side here. These are, oh, let me do this. They're actually kind of the displays on the opposite side, but this is the Tech. This is the Tech, which I started off with. This is my new mod, the e-cig 75 watt. You know, this was great to start off with. It's nice and compact. That's what I like. But again, I do not recommend, really, in all honesty, to start off with the Tech, even though it does come with a great tank. The mod's not bad. You just don't have that temperature control, and that's where it all is. Right there is the temperature control. So, the story goes is I bought the e-cig 75 watt unit, and every time you put a different tank on it or an atomizer, you have to tell it new tank, new atomizer, so on and so forth, before this thing will fire. Okay, so some people that have bought the e-cig 75 watt found that out, you know, and I'm sure it says it in the directions somewhere. I haven't read the directions. We just put this together, but okay, and let me talk to you about the tank. This is a Phantom, this is a Horizon Tech Phantom. This is the Phantom tank. This is a 5 milliliter tank. It comes with, I believe it comes with 2 coils, one in the tank, one spare, and a buildable deck. Right off the bat, went to the buildable deck. I don't run factory coils. I just don't think you get enough vape or enough flavor off the factory coils as you can with your custom-made coils. Making custom coils is not that fairly difficult, especially for something like this, because you're not going to go too crazy. But I believe I've got nickel coil in here, and that's another thing that the Tech will not run, is I believe it's a nickel coil. Again, you know, I'm still learning on this, so don't quote me on this, but so I'm running a really good, I actually had a coil in there, and I'll show you guys that for about a majority of the day. My friend put it in there for me, and let me see, there it is. And that's a pretty beastly coil for this unit. It is I believe it's a 6 wrap. Yeah, it's a 6 wrap. I went ahead and changed it over for it's a 2 wrap, I believe. 2 wrap coil. I'm just stacking that stuff over there. A 2 coil deal, real tightly wrapped, 12 wrap coil. Okay, so this has got 12 wraps in it. And I'll tell you one thing. And I packed, what I used, what my friend gave me here was something called cotton bacon. You might want to pick some of this up. It's a tasteless cotton, made in the USA. Most of your other cottons or vapors out there probably use the Japanese cotton. I'm using the cotton bacon. It's nice, smooth, no taste. Just gets you your flavors. So my friend brought over his Phantom tank, and I'm like, well, man, you know, before I even decided to buy another mod or buy another tank, my friend came over and we went through all of his, different vaporizers. He's got a lot of atomizers. He's got a Mad Hatter, a Kennedy, or a Kennedy clone. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, he let me try them all, and I like the atomizers too. They're really nice, but very inconvenient for me when I'm driving in a car. So that's why when I do get an atomizer, that's going to be my home and office type of deal, where this will be my traveler. because it's nice. It's got a nice big tank on it. Good for, if I'm vaping on it, like pacify vaping, then this tank will last, about 3 or 4 hours. So it's not bad. That means if I'm traveling across country, I can stop off and fill it once and then be back on my way. The Phantom tank is a great tank. Okay, there's a lot of people out there reviewing it. I really enjoy it. I really liked putting in my second coil in here and building up the deck. It was really cool. That was my first time, and it was a successful one. My friend built the coil, but I put it in there. So put it in there, packed the cotton, and everything seems to be working as it should. Very smooth flavor. And also I got some juices I'll show you guys here in a second. What really turned me on to this tank is that it has a side fill, so you don't have to turn the mod upside down, unscrew it, fill from the bottom, turn it back up, screw it back on, and then do this thing. You turn it on its side, and you see right here, you just turn this thing, turn it to, well, I guess it would be your right or left, depending on how you have this oriented. And see, it just opens right up, and you drop your liquid in there, and it closes her up. And you can fill both sides of the tank, the lower tank and the upper tank. The upper tank drips to the lower tank, and so it's feeding from the lower tank, but as it gets lower in the lower tank, it's sucking it down from the upper tank. Now, I'm a complete amateur on this stuff, and so I'm just trying to give you the best description. This is an amateur review. I'm not a professional vapor. I don't know much about this stuff, but what I do know here is that the taste is great. It packs a powerful punch, which I was looking for. Gets that good throat hit. And those are the things that you, as a new vapor, a former smoker, so call yourself a former smoker, go in your vape shops, throw those packs of cigarettes in the garbage as you're walking in. Get yourself a good unit like this. Now, equipment, like my friend said to me, equipment is key. Equipment is the most key to a successful removal of smoking from your life and to enjoy the vaping experience. So I have the Phantom tank on here. I enjoy it. Gets good airflow. No modifications on this whatsoever. The coil is a 12 wrap right now. I'll probably change it out in the next couple of days. I'm going to start building my own coils, and I'm probably also in the next couple of days, when I have to go get more juice, I'm going to buy an atomizer. So I can drip the juice as well and start building the coils and doing crazy things like that, because you guys all know me. I've been in IT for a long time, and I need some other kind of hobby to keep busy other than just doing my hobby and my job. So one other thing I really liked about this tank was that it is all metal. It does have glass in it, but it's protected, so if you drop it, it's protected. It is quite long. It is a bigger tank, but the construction is very, very, very good. Excellent construction. Very solid. It feels. It's got on the drip tip up here. As you can see, it's ribbed. So what that means is there's a little heat sink up there, because this thing will get hot. That's one warning. If you're not looking for a tank to get extremely hot, then this one is not for you. But you should go to your vape shop. Hopefully they have. Go to one that carries a good selection. Ask them for the Phantom tank. Give it a try. Hopefully they have one you can try. Ask them for their advice, and just go to town. But when you're starting out, get yourself the e-cig 75 watt. This thing is, in the long run, you're going to spend a little bit more to start off, but you're going to be vaping with a mod that's going to last you quite a long time. And this also charges, by the way. And I want to come back to my mention. I said there's two reasons for a USB port. One is that it charges, and second of all, when it does become available, I'll be able to update this mod with the latest firmware, which that's actually quite cool. So if there's any kind of problems with this mod, I get any kind of wrong readings, or I get any kind of, calibration misadjustments, they'll be able to fix that with the firmware. I have not seen any updates for this thing. I have not seen any firmware updates at this point in time. I asked the gentleman in the store that I bought this, let me turn it around, this Sigelli unit, it's the Sigelli 75 watt. They really did like this unit. They said they recommended the IPV-D2 a little bit more, but this was what they had available. I wanted to get vaping and vaping correctly, so this is what I got, and I'm very happy with it. And next week, I'll bring you another mod. I'm just kidding. Don't have that kind of money to throw around, but so this has been a great mod. Now let me show you the juices that I bought. And I'm in Michigan, so some of my longtime followers that are watching this video, because they're probably not smokers and they probably don't care about vaping, but some of you guys know that I am from Michigan, and this is an independent vapor company. This is a Millionaire, okay? Good stuff. It's kind of, it's like a citrusy juice, very high grade. I would not, and this is another thing where vapors go wrong, is they buy cheap juices. Don't buy cheap juices. Actually, this wasn't bad in price either. For 30 milliliter, it was like $16.99. This is a 3 milligram nic. So you're thinking, well, I'm going to need more nicotine than that. Now, get yourself one bottle of 6 milligram nic, and then just go down to 3. If you like to vape a lot, just go to the 3, because you'll get your 6 out of that. This is another juice I picked up. This is called Vapeaid. It's like Gatorade. It's lemon and lime. It tastes like the old Gatorade, not that new crap that they put in the store that has no taste to it. This is like the old Gatorade. And this stuff was a little bit more expensive. I probably won't buy any more of this, even though it wasn't bad. It's a very thick juice. This is an 80-20. This is an 80 VG, which is vegetable glycerin, versus your 20 PG. Okay, so also the same with the independent vaping company. Now, independent vapor company, the only thing that I heard that some people are just a little bit find an inconvenience to is that there's a lot of glucose in independent vaping company. That's what gives you kind of the sweet citrusy taste. It's really good. And I couldn't say anything more. I'm going to go get a few more of these juices tomorrow. I can't say enough. I really enjoy the independent vaping vapor company, and I'm glad to say that because I'm now supporting a Michigan company. I really enjoy it. It's very smooth. It's very delicious. It's inviting. It's how can I say it? It's just a relaxing. It's not like, oh man, I just vaped that and I want to go have a cigarette. No, that's what you get with cheap juices. So those are the two juices right now, and I'm running some old juice that I had still left over from the local vape shop, which still actually burns quite nicely in here once I got the temperatures dialed in. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rip off this, and you guys can judge for yourself. I'm going to see what we got. We got 431 degrees on 75 watts, so I maxed this thing out. So it doesn't give a bad cloud. and it hits nice, even though it's six nick in this thing. I wouldn't want to be hitting this thing constantly because you'll feel like crap. Now let me tell you guys my experience. I know we're at 25 minutes. Let me tell you my experience, okay? So going from the Kangertech to the Sigeli, you know, at first with the Kangertech, I was getting some hits that were just not satisfying. They were gross, actually, and that had to do a lot with I hadn't changed out the cotton in quite some time. It's with vaping, there is some maintenance involved, and you're just going to have to do that. So change your cotton. Use a high grade cotton. Cotton bacon's pretty good from what I've been using the last couple of days. That's really good stuff. Also, make sure that you check your coil. Make sure it's not getting crusted up. My friend of mine said get some vodka. Place it in that vodka, let it soak for a while. Then set out your coil and let it dry. Make sure you have an extra coil so you can vape while you're waiting for that stuff to clean and dry. Don't use this at all. That's if that happens to get vaped, you're gonna have a big problem. It's gonna either make you sick or cause some other types of problems, and it's highly flammable. So don't use isopropyl alcohol when cleaning any vaping thing. Don't use that. He recommended vodka. I'm looking for anybody else, their recommendations. I'm sure there's vape tank cleaners out there and everything that are safe to use as well. So that'll be another question that you want to ask your local vape store when you go in there to purchase your vaporizer. So some things that I have learned over my 9 days. Yeah, 9 days. I keep saying 8 days. 9 days of vaping. You got to keep yourself hydrated. Most important. Keep yourself hydrated. Keep a bottle of water with you at all times. Depending on how much you're vaping is really going to depend on how much water you're going to need to hydrate your body with. If you don't get enough hydration, you'll start to feel a little oh man, I don't feel so good. You need to get more fluids in your body. Even Gatorade would probably work, or iced tea. Like right here, iced tea. Also, make sure that when you go in there, don't let somebody sway you to cheaper juices. Always get the best juices you can get, because that will leave you satisfied. The hit will be satisfying. There's just so many things in vaporizations in the vape world that you kind of have to understand in order to get a successful and quality vape hit from your vaporizer every single time you push that trigger button. Also, what else did I have overdone vaping a couple of times with the 6-nic, where I got to the point where I was my stomach was kind of feeling like, ooh, I feel really like and I knew it was vaping. I just overindulged, and you got to be careful of that. You'll know when you do. You'll just feel sick, and you'll go away from the vaping for about 3 or 4 hours, and you'll come back to it, and you'll be fine. It's just your body has It's that your body's gotten its fill of nicotine, and it's now saying, okay, enough is enough. Quit that shit. Stop vaping for a while. Let me recover. Get rid of this nicotine, and then you can go back to doing what you're doing. Also, with vaping, if you get a good quality vaporizer and you're getting a lot of vape in your lungs and you're exhaling, you're going to run into some hacking. You're going to hack up some lung, okay? This is normal. You're clearing out all that tar and all that garbage that us smokers, me as a former smoker, and you as the next former smoker, will have in your lungs, and you're just going to have to expel that stuff. Like right now, I feel like I have some garbage that needs to come up. And that's just the way it is. There's no way to get around that. I know it's disgusting. I know it's kind of inconvenient. But in the upside, you're cleaning your lungs of all that crap. You're expunging all of these carcinogens and tars and everything that we've been putting into our bodies for years. You're getting them out of there. So just make sure. Here's the thing. Here's, like, 4 or 5 facts. Okay, I'll count them on my fingers. All right. Let's just go over it. First of all, get yourself good equipment. A good mod, a good tank. Okay? A good mod, a good tank. Equipment, don't get cheap on that. Starter kits, they're all right. Wouldn't recommend going the way I did when I did my first video. I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend going to Sigelei, perfect first mod, Sigelei 75 watt temperature control with some kind of good tank on there. The Phantom is just probably overboard for somebody starting out. So, tanks are easily replaceable. They're not so expensive that they're going to break the bank, so you can upgrade to that later. So make sure, equipment first, all right? Second of all, your juices. Make sure you get good, high-quality steeped juices, okay? And what steeping juices means is when a batch of juice is made, okay, it should stay on the shelf for at least 40 days. The longer it sits to steep, the more complex it becomes. Therefore, the more taste you get out of that and the more enjoyability that you get from the juices, okay? So make sure that you get some kind of juice like, Independent Vapor Company or Detroit Rock Candy. I haven't tried that yet, but from my understanding, it's very good. Or like Vaping, that's another one that steeps. And they steep this stuff. They don't just say, okay, we've just made it and we're going to put it in bottles. They don't do that kind of stuff. What they're doing is they're letting it steep for 40 or more days, and that means that you're going to get a good quality juice for the price. And that's the way it should be. You go to some places, they'll give you custom juices, and they might not be that bad, but they haven't had that time to steep. So I've had some juices where it seemed like it probably could have sat on the shelf for a little bit longer and had, then the tastes would have been more flavorful than they were, when I tried them. So, juices. Make sure you hydrate yourself, okay? Hydration, hydration, hydration. Just make sure you do that, because you don't, because you're constantly moving vapor in and out, and you're drying your body out as you're doing that. So make sure you hydrate yourself, because that's probably one of the most important things to do. You're going to get some hacking. That's normal. Just make sure you can clear all that stuff out of your lungs. It's going to happen because, again, we're removing all of the garbage that was left over from smoking real cigarettes. And I guess that's the 4 points. Oh, and yeah, don't overdo it. Make sure if you're feeling sick, just put it away for a while and go do something else. You'll have enough nicotine that you won't crave the vape for a little while. And then go back to doing it later on. So, simply that. I just wanted to let you guys know, 9 days in the hole, no smoking, just vaping. And that is your amateur review. I'm not a vaping expert, but I'm enjoying it, and I think it would be kind of a fun hobby to get into. Doing the coils and stuff is still technical. So you guys unsubscribing and subscribing, stick around. You'll see other videos you like too, right? So anyways, I appreciate everybody watching, and I appreciate my subscribers that have held in there from day one. We're almost into the 8th year of the Carter Hour. I know I started out this channel with my 03 Grand Marquis. That was my first video. And it's just the channel has changed so much. And like I think I said this in one of my last, it was a video quite probably some while ago, 3 or 4 years ago, that this channel doesn't really follow a genre. it doesn't really, I mean, I'm just going to put up something that I feel strongly about, or that I would like to show you guys. This is a hobby for me, but I also like connecting with all of you out there. I also really enjoy putting these videos up there because I know that hopefully one of my videos, okay, is going to help somebody. If it's just one person, that makes me happy. If it's 45 people, if it's 145 people, that's great. That feels great to be able to help you guys out there. And I'm glad you're watching my videos. So again, I would highly recommend, if you're smoking right now, get yourself up, go to a vape store or a big tobacco store. They have a vaping section as well. Get yourself some good e-juices. Get the e-cig 75 watt. Get yourself a good tank. If you want to go to the Phantom tank, hey, it's more power to you. But you're going to be happy in the end with a good mod at least. So anyways, for another edition of the Carter Hour, I know via the webcam, we're at 36 minutes. I can't believe that I have been rambling on for 36 minutes, but I just wanted to tell you guys, this is my day 9 update. No cigarettes, just vaping. And I've had bad vape days. And oh, number 5, you might have a bad vape day. Just try to get through it as best as you can. Don't go back to lighting up. Because I'll tell you one thing. You're probably going to light up a cigarette and say, oh my God, that's terrible. I don't know. But that probably will happen. So, anyways, ladies and gents, I just wanted to update you guys on the vaping. And I'm not going to have a lot of videos on here other than maybe I'll just keep you guys up to date maybe once a week or twice or once every 2 weeks or something like that. But this will be my last vaping video probably for another 2 weeks. So anyways, thanks again, and I appreciate some of the comments that were on the vaping videos, lending out support. You know, you can do this, you can get through this, you're going to do it, and I sure have, and I appreciate your support. So again, and I appreciate everybody that subscribed, their support, and my viewers and viewers that have stopped by. And if you like the channel, take a look around. You know, I have a lot of different videos on there. Take a look around. You might like it. Subscribe. Do whatever you want. So, anyways, I'm rambling on way too long here, guys. Again, I appreciate it. And, oh, you guys are asking about, you asking about him? Oh, well, okay. We'll talk about him for 1 minute, okay? We're at 38:10. This is Frank, okay? And this is Frank the Dachshund. And Frank is my buddy. He likes to hang out, chill out with me in the office here. And he's a good dog because he doesn't make any noise. But if I start smoking again, Frank's going to be really mad. He's just my buddy there. I like dachshund dogs a lot, so I saw him there and looked like he was lonely and needed a home, so I gave him a home. Anyways. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, for the Carter Hour, I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, sticking with me. I know I'm going to try to make as many videos as I can, but again, I can't promise anything. I won't promise anything because promising things turns people off and so on and so forth. So, anyways, we're here, August 31st. And so thanks again, everybody, for tuning in to another edition of the Carter Hour. And take care.